Alright, so what's going on, guys? So recently I've seen Star Wars, or Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and I had to do a review on it. It's one of those movies that quickly became my favorite all-time movie, to be perfectly honest with you. And as you can see, I even have the Rogue One shirt on. Let me show you. Look at that. I got the shirt just for this review. Like, I literally had to get the shirt for the review. So, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Now, the plot is, and I'm gonna try to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but the plot, it's pretty much out there. It's not really much of a spoiler at all, but it's mainly about a pretty much a group of rebels. Not all of them are actual rebels, but rebels as in fighting back. A group of rebels are trying to steal the Death Star plans, and things kind of get shaky along the way. That's the basic premise. You have all the characters that are pretty much on like the main pretty much on this shirt, I think. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much everyone on this shirt, I believe. Well, most of them anyway. Pretty much just stealing the Death Star plans. And the thing that really caught my attention about this movie when I first heard it was the fact that this was more of a movie that kind of leaned more towards war as opposed to our classic lightsabers, everything shiny and all that crazy awesomeness that we're so accustomed to. Now, this was definitely a breath of fresh air for this kind of film because we've never seen a Star Wars movie that was based off war. I seen someone say that Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story, puts the war back in Star Wars, and it really does because throughout the series we have seen war in Star Wars, but never to this extent. It was never heavily focused on till this. This game focuses on war. It focuses on kind of like both sides of like good and bad. You get to see the rebels and the empire equally, and that's something that I really liked because I felt like with all the other films they did always do a good job of focusing on each side, but this movie, something about it felt more connected. It felt more natural pretty much. And it's like when you watch this, it's almost like they have you going for this kind of feeling where each side, you can root for each side and it's okay. I'm not sure if that makes any sense to some people because I know a lot of time the hero is supposed to beat the antagonist and that's how it's supposed to go. But for this movie, it felt like you can root for each side and it's okay. And it's funny because as I was watching this movie towards the end, I was saying to myself, I was like, this needs a sequel. The way it's shaping up to end, and then I realized, duh, idiot, there's a New Hope that comes literally right after it. But yeah, it definitely puts the war in Star Wars. There's lots of war, lots of character development. The main character, Jyn Arso, how you say her name? Jyn Arso, Iso, something like that. She is amazing. The actor, I'm not sure what her name is at this very second. Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of her name right now, but she did an awesome job. Mads Mikkelsen did a great job as playing the antagonist or the protagonist's father. Um, just great acting all around. And I really like how they just make you feel like you're a part of this story. They make you feel like you're with them on this adventure. And them getting to the Death Star plans, and it's so epic. Like the entire movie is just one epic ride. There may be some really slow points here and there, but by and large it's very epic. It's very quick. It's very fast paced. I mean, you really see a side of Star Wars that you've never seen before. And I know you're probably wondering, well, I've seen seven or all six, or no, I'm sorry, it's I think it's seven films now if you include before this, it was seven films if you include Force Awakens. You're like, well, I've seen all seven films. How is there a side of Star Wars I haven't seen yet? No, this movie, I guarantee this is a side of Star Wars that we've never seen. They're on the front lines fighting. There's empires versus rebels, and it is just an action-packed movie. Not saying it's all out Michael Bay. It's really not. But I'm saying when the action gets going, it just feels like it doesn't stop. It always feels like there is an immediate conflict that needs to be resolved, and that's what I like about this movie. It doesn't BS. It doesn't it doesn't hold. Well, how you say this? It doesn't. Yeah, it pretty much just doesn't BS. It doesn't BS. It gets to the point and it just keeps going. And the plot is so simple that it's great. And I've noticed that most games and movies with really simple plots, they turn out to be some of the best ones out there. And this movie is just no exception. Like I said, all the characters. I can't think of every actor's actual name or all the characters in the movie at this point in time, but everyone did a fantastic job. Nothing felt hashed in. Although, well, no, I can't say that. Towards the beginning, there was a scene, there were multiple scenes where they were going from planet to planet to planet to planet. Not the characters, but the actual movie itself, like from scene to scene. They were going from planet here to planet there. You go from Yavin 4, that's not a spoiler by the way, but you go from Yavin 4 to this planet to that planet, and it's just going back and forth so fast. It's almost like, I felt like they just really tried to push that in there to kind of meet a certain quota. Like they tried to push all this in here just so we can know what's going on. I felt like it was, see, it's hard to say. Yeah, it was almost kind of rushed, if you will. Like it really just kind of threw that in your face. And I mean, not that it's hard to understand what's going on, but they made it really seem like it's almost hard to, oh God, yeah, I'm sorry. It's almost hard to kind of keep track because it's going so fast. But yeah, and it was just a great movie all around. The characters were great, the storyline was great. It was very basic, very simple, and it leads into A New Hope so well. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but I might, if you guys want to see that, I can do a spoiler talk for this spoiler review for this movie, and I can pretty much talk about the ending. And when I say that was the best ending I've ever seen in any Star Wars movie, I mean, oh man, trust me when I say it was amazing, perfect. Like I honestly thought it was actually perfect. Like when I say it perfectly leads into A New Hope so well. I mean, okay, this is how you do it. You have Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, okay, episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Then you have Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and then Rogue One picks up like legitimately 10 minutes, and then like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Rogue One picks up, A New Hope picks up 10 minutes after Rogue One. I said that right. So yeah, it leads in so well. I mean, the transition is so seamless. And I mean, you have characters from A New Hope that were in A New Hope that are now CGI for obvious reasons. You have Grand Moff Tarkin who's CGI. That's not a spoiler. Well, probably is, probably not. No, I don't think it should be a spoiler because this is during the time they were building the Death Star, and obviously he was one of the higher ups back then. I mean, he was even giving commands to Vader, so he was a high up then. And let's talk about Darth Vader. Now, this isn't a spoiler because he's actually in, I believe, 2 of the trailers, and Darth Vader is awesome. I mean, it is such a awesome, it's such an awesome moment when you see him. You don't see him too much, and now this movie isn't about all the lightsabers, and it's not the regular Star Wars film, as I've said before, but when you see Darth Vader, man, it is so awesome and so much sleeker than the original movies, obviously, and he just looks amazing. I'm gonna say this is a very minor spoiler. It's so minor that it really does not matter at all. Vader actually makes a pun. Okay? Darth Vader makes a pun. So weird. But when you see him, his presence is asserted. His dominance is asserted. When he comes onto the screen, you're like, oh shit. Oh shit, that's Vader. Oh my God. And James Earl Jones, of course, comes back to voice Vader. And man, oh man, it's just such a pleasant surprise to see Vader again and hear him speak. And James Earl Jones does such a great job of voicing him. It's like being a kid all over again. Like when you watch this movie, it's literally like being a kid all over again. And I just cannot, I mean, I knew Vader was in the movie, obviously. I knew he was going to be there at some point. But when you just see him, it is awesome. And I mean, there's a certain scene I'm not going to spoil, but it's pretty intense. It's pretty crazy. And it involves Vader. That's all I'm going to say. It's just pretty crazy. But yeah, Vader's in the movie. It's not a spoiler, like I said, because he's in the trailers. And when he's there, like I said, dominance is asserted. I mean, he's he's just there, and you love Vader. When you love to see Vader on the screen, you want more Vader. Like when it ends, you're like, I wanted more Vader. That's probably the only drawback, and really that's not even the drawback, because I feel like they showed him just enough, but just the fanboy in me wants to see more Darth Vader. Now, like I said, I know this wasn't about lightsabers. I know it wasn't about Darth Vader. I wasn't expecting to see him much at all, honestly, but they actually showed him more than I thought they were going to show him, which was actually pretty awesome. So yeah, there's that. It was awesome though. Vader just, man, I love me some Darth Vader. I love me some Anakin Skywalker. I'm a Star Wars fan, okay? What can you say? I just love me some Star Wars. And whenever there's a character that I haven't seen in a long time, it's like I can almost never get enough of them. And they, it's cool because they actually make a lot of references to the other movies. They mention certain characters from the Clone Wars, and they mention things from here, things from there. They even have characters from A New Hope, obviously, because it takes place right before A New Hope, literally like 10 minutes before A New Hope. So yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. It is amazing. I mean, just mind-boggling. But yeah, it's great. The characters, the story, the atmosphere, everything about this movie was just spot on to me. And I just, honestly, it's my favorite movie of all time. Like, I mean, I'm not even joking. This movie really blew it out of the park for me. And I'm pretty sure some people, they may be saying it wasn't that good, it's overhyped, whatever. But keep in mind that this is just my opinion. And, I mean, yours may differ, and that's perfectly fine. We're all entitled to our own opinions, so it is what it is. But Rogue One was absolutely amazing. Like I said, the story, the characters, the atmosphere, everything was on point. I mean, especially the characters. I mean, and the Death Star. Oh my God, the Death Star was incredible. I mean, it was something. Like they, I guess a spoiler. I can't really say that, but the Death Star is amazing. And they also said that in this movie they did lots of reshoots for whatever reason, and I think, yeah, it really shows in this movie. Like, if you watch all the trailers and then watch Rogue One, you'll see there were some, well, not some, there were a lot of scenes here and there that were actually removed from the final product for whatever reason, which kind of sucks because there was some cool, well, I mean, it's not like they took out major scenes, but there were some things taken out that I did want to hear in the final product. Like, there was one scene where Jin was like, what did she say? She said, "This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel." And I mean, that's kind of cheesy and corny. And I mean, you could say whatever you want about it, but I thought it was kind of cool and I wanted to hear it, but that wasn't in the movie. Like I said, it's not a big spoiler, but that wasn't in the movie. Small things here and there will have to be cut for whatever reason, but by and large, everything was there. The movie was fantastic. I think it was well worth the wait. I'd say it was better than Force Awakens. The ending was better than Force Awakens. And I mean, the next Star Wars movie has to really live up to this hype because Rogue One was fucking phenomenal. In my opinion, I thought it was great. My favorite movie of all time, and just awesome. Complete awesome. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it now. Go to the theaters right now. Watch it. Come back to this video. Let's talk about it in the comment section. And yeah, I mean, Rogue One, it really knocked out the park. This was a great way to end the year. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video or Rogue One, be sure to give my video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, if this is the first video you've seen of mine. Yeah, subscribe, comment, we could talk about this movie. And yeah, so again, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Really helps the channel grow, and I will catch you guys later. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a great day.